The four elements, air, earth, fire, and water, are some of the most basic elements in an astrology chart, but some of the most important. The elements can give us information about temperament, lifestyle, food choices, modes of attraction and communication, and they also are very helpful in helping us find out where we feel at home. And this is particularly important over the next year with Jupiter moving into Cancer, the sign of home and nesting. We oftentimes are drawn to areas that share a similar element to us, climate-wise. So air signs are drawn to open spaces and high mountains. Fire signs oftentimes enjoy hot climates or multicultural environments. Water signs are drawn to oceans, rivers, and streams. And the earth signs are also attracted to pastoral settings and sometimes also being in the right neighborhood because status is oftentimes connected to earth signs. Another piece that we look at is the person's fourth house cusp. This is the part of the chart that speaks to the beginning of life and end of life, and it is very much connected to our emotional or psychological roots. If you have a Pisces IC meaning the immune coli fourth house cusp, you again are oftentimes drawn to water environments, whereas if you have a Gemini fourth house cusp, you'd like to probably live in two different places. The last few examples have more to do with affinity, such as like with like. But oftentimes we need to have a polarity balance in terms of our elements. If we have too much fire in our chart, we may benefit from a more temperate zone where we are actually cooled off a bit. The person who has too much water in their chart may not benefit from an overly damp or dank environment because it may actually lead to depression. That over water sign chart may actually benefit from being in a hot or arid climate like a desert. It all depends. We're always looking at the larger picture when we talk about astrology, so one size does not fit all. Now, when it comes to where we might want to live, we actually have other tools at our disposal. One is solar mapping, and the other is astrocartography. With solar mapping, we take a person's chart and we notice where on the planet certain of our energies manifest best. So if we're looking for love, work, children, or a spiritual practice, having our solar mapping done is actually beneficial. Relocation charts take the person's natal chart and reposition it based on a new country or home. Sometimes this is actually beneficial because if you are perhaps growing up in New York in a seventh house sun, seventh house person tends to be codependent. Possibly moving to London or South Africa, the individual might find that they are more front and center because their sun now gets positioned in the first house. Cities and countries also have birth charts, so we can also notice if we are compatible with that particular location. Lastly, I use a very interesting technique which includes a couple's relationship chart and shows where on Earth this couple might best be served. And this is particularly useful if there is an age difference because this chart actually deals with the intersection of time and space. So as we know, astrology helps us in all levels, and one of the most basic level of elements is the way that we can find the home of our dreams. I'm Meta Astrologer Patrice Kamens.